the full hour show presentation is there for some of the people that wants to see or hear about my philosophy, of course. And much of the prediction that I did was well before the news that is unfolding right now. So as I said, this show is just a repetition of what my prognostication, my prediction that I did on your show a year ago. So
I understand. What are people when they undergo hypnotherapy? What are they coming to you for? What's their problem, their concern?
Well, it could be anything from bad habits, being hooked to pot, to cigarette, or depression. And the idea, of course, as a clinical hypnotherapist, is to insert the right information and carve the subconscious with hope, if I may use those words, using a method, pushing aside the conscious that would interfere and insert the suggestion to a level that the subconscious retains and it becomes a habit. You know, when I used to smoke, George, I used to smoke like 2 packs a day. I mean, I quit smoking over 10 years ago now. What you call it, auto-hypnotize myself, if I can use this term.
Self-hypnosis?
Right. And I made a full-time job trying to quit smoking, and I stopped. I can't remember how many times. But this is what it takes to be able to carve your psyche and replace a bad habit with a good habit. And that you can use hypnotherapy for absolutely anything. And then if you go into some serious regression, now you can go into the lives or the experience of people that have been abducted. There's so many people that work as hypnotherapists out there that do a good job helping people that have been traumatized by such experiences. But Astro-psychology and hypnotherapy, this is what I'm going to be teaching also in my next course in Sedona next July, are definitely tools that are beneficial for all of us.
As you look into your Dr. Turi crystal ball, basically, with the ability that you have, are you scared of the future?
No, because I know God didn't put us on this world to die, literally suffocating terrible hand. I don't believe that. As I told you many times in the show, George, I believe in the ingenuity of mankind to use technology, cold fusion, any form of advanced science, which is just birthing right now. As I'm speaking to you, this new age of Aquarius is displaying an energy that comes down to this physical world, and it's very dense. And that affects the psyche of our scientists that perceive something else than that they could not perceive before. Most of all because they already have grounding, they already have background, scientific values, so they can add to the basics of what they have learned new tools, new feeling, new energy, and that is the genius energy of Aquarius. Aquarius energy that is going to run this world for the next 2,000 years. It has the potential, as it regulates the sudden release of energy, to put an end to it all with nuclear device, because it rules the nuclear explosion. But I still believe that if we did not blow up ourselves yet with the nuclear technology, then we can apply it progressively and positively. So I'm not scared, because I know mankind genius is set to do the right thing in the long run.
Well, I think so too, Louis. But along the way, it's going to be a bumpy ride for a lot of people.
Well, we are in right now. I mean, as I said,
it's horrible right now.
The lowest point for America will be August. And again, I don't want to nurture negativity, because I'm aware of the future being a reincarnation of the thought. So I don't want to emphasize this negative energy. But as we hit the bottom in August or July during this timing, then the wave of negative objectivity will dissipate slowly, and will take another year or a year and a half to go back to what America is all about. See, America was born with the head of the dragon in the second house of money, making this country naturally set by God's order through the stars to be the most powerful, the most wealthy country around the world. But as I told you earlier, there is that pattern, there is that clock. And right now, this very powerful country is getting kicked in the butt because the tail is in the second house of money and self-esteem. So the self-esteem and the financial aspect of all American is down the bottom. But that's not going to be that way. By the stars and by God's order, America is set and has always been set to be the country number one of supreme wealth and supreme power. And I know, as my name is Dr. Turi George, that this great country will go back to where it belongs. That's just the law. I don't write the laws. I translate the laws.
I tell you what, you're a positive person, and that's pretty darn refreshing, especially now.
Well, you see, the people that are working, and I'm not denying their values or whatsoever, but people can only relate to what they see, or you to them, because of your education or your experiences or your intelligence, or most of all because of your stars. I was gifted with a very, very high UCI, unique celestial identity, put it this way, and a powerful objectivity that allows me to pass the physical manifestation, and what is accepted by the majority or even accepted by the majority doesn't have to be the truth to me. I'm able to pass that, so I can only be positive. And in knowing that the children nowadays are so sensitive, poisoning their psyche with all sorts of apocalyptic happening in the end of the world and all this biblical junk is not good.
Well, you know what? I got to give you credit for what you've done, what you continue to do. Few minutes to go here. What's your latest work?
My latest work, actually, my newsletter, The Cosmic Code, is doing extraordinary. I have people in Japan, in Australia, literally all over the world, constantly send me good stuff. And I can only suggest to people, because the only thing they have is their intuition, is to dig into me, do your homework, go to my website, and then click on the Dragon newsletter. It's free. Read some of my newsletter, and if you like it, just join my family all over the world and sign up for the Cosmic Code newsletter. In there, I guide people on a personal level, on a universal level. Everything that's happened on CNN, it's already a week or a month ahead in this newsletter. And that's what I can suggest to people. If you want to deal with the real thing, well, don't look anywhere else. And I'm not being an egocentric. I have proven over and over again, not only on your show, George, but everywhere I've been, that I am the real thing. And I stand by me. I stand by the facts.
Yes, you do. And let's get your website out. drturi.com, but it's drturi.com. Louis, thanks again for being on the program.
You bet. And see you in May.
You got that right.
Bye-bye,
absolutely.
Good night, everybody.
Dr. Louis Turi, another one behind the secret door. Look, we do this every once in a while. I really enjoy it. I hope you do, too. For Karis Coburn, Dan Galante, Tom Dan Heiser, Lisa Lyon, Lex Lonehood, Sean Ladesseur, Ross Mitchell, Ian Punnett, and Art Bell, I'm George Norrie, somewhere out there on Coast to Coast AM. We'll see you on our next edition. Until then, be safe, everyone.